Hi, beautiful Sagittarius. Welcome back. And for all you folks who might be new stumbling upon this channel, welcome. It is wonderful to have you all here. I am extraordinarily excited to speak with you today about the beautiful message that is queued up for you from Spirit. Sag, look at that. That is how you stand, having emerged from the solstice journey. Spirit has a lot to talk with you about. So I'm starting with the images. I think that's how I'm going to go forward in 2018. Spirit's talking with me a lot about the elemental power of your set point and of each astrological set point relating to the messages that came in 2017 about this weaving that was going on of the tapestry of energy and how your particular set point is meant to be woven into the fabric of energy that is arising here on the earth. And there you are, Sag, standing in your place. It's profoundly beautiful to me. So I'm going to ask you to just allow whatever energy is coming through from Spirit to just feel it in your bones, Spirit says. Feel it in your heart. Feel it in your third eye while I make a couple of announcements. So for all the folks who are new, I am a clairvoyant person. I use the beautiful Celtic Wisdom Tarot deck, developed by Caitlin Matthews. And I started my YouTube channel this is my 1-year anniversary. Based on a lot of streaming that had been coming through to me, I'm clairvoyant, and I decided it was time. So as we go into 2018, all of us are coming into the next phase of our journey. That includes me. I am liberated, so to speak, as many of you, as the readings have come out. There's a story of destiny, a story of liberation, and a story of prophecy about what will come to be going forward now that you've come through the amazing shift and change and growth and the initiatory period leading into the solstice. So having emerged, I too have been liberated. Let me toggle over and say hello. I'm sorry about that. I get to chatting and I forget you can't see me. Hi, gang. Welcome. So going forward, a lot is evolving here at Moonrise Cottage. My process is deepening, and I have been liberated through the process of last year, my own destiny, just like yours. I'm going to be able to offer a lot of things that I've been holding back. So, per many requests, I am now going to be able to do couples readings, lovers readings, twin flame soulmate, whatever you want to call it. If you have a relationship, any significant relationship, whether it is with your parents, with your siblings, with a friend, anything that you'd like to explore deeper on a soul basis, I'm there for that now. It's really fun. I'm looking forward to it. Some of those things have happened spontaneously. And the way in which they've happened, interestingly enough, a lot of folks have come through during their personal readings from the other side. And so I thought, all right, you know what? A Spirit is sort of gently nudging me. These things keep happening. I'm just going to make that available. If there's someone on the other side that has crossed over that you would like to be in touch with, that you have questions about, that you'd like some information to help you understand perhaps a healing process if you're grieving, I'm available. We'll do it together and we'll ask for that person's presence. Let's see. So there will be what I guess I'll call medium services. And I am also going to be able now, free for my task of 2017. I'm very overjoyed to be able to offer distance healing. It is something that has been unfolding for quite a while for me, years actually, and I've been real quiet about it. But as I went through 2017, some of the folks who came for personal readings requested that from me. And I take my leadings from things as they unfold, and Spirit saying, as you should do. So always follow that sacred leading, that inspiration, those sacred requests that come. Ponder that. So I've decided to add that to the things that are available. You can still find all that information by scrolling below the video. Click the Show More tab It's I think it's in all caps. It's light gray when I look at it on my computer. All the information is there. Every option that's available, all the pricing, all the links you need, the time zone calculator, etc. So scroll through and let me know if you have any questions. My email's all the way at the bottom. And I've been forgetting to say this. If you send me an email or you send me a reservation payment, sometimes it takes a couple days for me to get back to you. Just know that I'm, one at a time. I'm doing readings, I'm making videos. There's a lot going on in the background. So I'll get to you as soon as possible, usually within 48 hours, okay? And I'm making a website. That's the last piece. Finally, people have been asking me. So I'm going to try to roll it out by the end of January, but it's definitely coming in 2018. That'll be a new transition for me. I've been holding back because I didn't want to be overwhelmed. So basically the leading I'm getting is make the website now because there's going to be more traffic and you are going to be overwhelmed. So it's going to, I'm a little nervous about it because I'm afraid it's going to make things a little more distant, which I don't like because I like being here with you, but we'll see. It'll all work out. So Sag, let's jump in. That is a major arcana card. Clearly, Spirit has been talking a lot about the journey through the passage tombs, and now in these moments having come through, it is all about emergence and the evolutionary pattern that's going to unfold in 2018 as you stand in your place, having emerged, ready to evolve into the next step, part of the tapestry of energy. You have arrived, and that is the beautiful, sacred counselor of truth. Oh my gosh, Sag, if there's anybody new that hasn't seen the journey from 2017 and you have the willingness and you got some time once in a while, do a little binge watch. Look at the readings for Sagittarius for 2017. Deep journeying, really profound about the sacred truth of what you feel in your heart chakra and the experience that you're having, witnessing and energetically with what's going on in the human realm. A lot of tragedy. And you have been working really hard to move beyond and to seek the deeper understanding. And it does make me kind of choked up to see this here, honoring your journey and letting you know you have arrived and you're part of the tapestry as a sacred warrior. Spirit's talking about the sun god, all right? So as a fire sign, a sacred warrior with the energy that arrives into you and flows out of you from the sun. Okay, so I'm getting interrupted. From the sacred sun element, Spirit has been chattering for the last 3 days as I've been getting the readings out about the effects of the tapestry and what it means. And basically what it comes down to, let me toggle back. So what it comes down to is in this moment, anyway, Spirit talking about the periodic table of elements, an elemental set point, and vibration, and power, and what that means in human form as a spirit being. There's going to be a lot of discussion today about that. It's coming through every single reading. So Spirit is describing the nature of the tapestry. And as Spirit's calling you a sun god. So as a fire sign, and when you look at the table of elements of what the makeup of the sun, okay, chemistry and physics, all that stuff is coming through to my brain. Go look, find out, study it. Even if you're not, if that's not your thing, start reading, go to Google, dig deep, go down every wormhole you can, all right? It is that energy set point that creates for you this golden tapestry of being the counselor of truth. So there's 2 messages about that. Let me toggle back. One is, this is the spirit message. The first card out is always the theme that lights the way, that gives us the nature, if you will, of the reading. And so going forward, this is your emergence from the passage tomb at the solstice. And, for whatever reason, right? I mean, we all have our own journey. So part of my journey has been to delve deeply into my own energy set point and into my ancestry and the sacred traditions that I arise from, that for much of my life I didn't know anything about. So in October, I went to Ireland, to the place of my ancestors, where my grandparents were, and I had an idea about a sacred journey. The journey that unfolded was very profound, but it had nothing to do with my intention, other than the sacred part. The trip that I envisioned did not happen. What actually happened was I was drawn into the passage tombs that I knew little about. It was a very profound journey for me into and out of the passage tombs. And a lot of messages, in the clairvoyant way it happens for me, were collected there. And I came back and I've been doing my best to get them out. So Spirit's talking about that. And we're seeing a lot of imagery about that. All right, so I'm going to show you some photos that Spirit asked me to queue up so that I could use it during the readings. So talking about the Hill of Destiny at Tara. All right, so a couple things. Keeping in mind this notion of the truth, the elemental truth of the sun and your elemental energetic set point and what identifiers that brings to you. Spirit is talking about the Stone of Destiny, the place of kings. Look at that. It rained almost every day, as it does, right? On this beautiful misty island. Gorgeous, lush green. And on the day when I went to Tara, I slogged up the hill. And look at that. Gorgeous. It was a really profound moment to watch the literal flow of the energy. And that's what Spirit's talking about. So, in this place of kings, where coronations took place, there is something else to be considered here, because it is up high on a hill. And underneath the hill, when you walk down the hill, there's something else. Deep underneath, there is a wellspring. This is the holy well at Tara. It has been flowing in an unending way for 6,000 years and more, most likely. And so this is the totality of the experience that Spirit would like you to ponder as the message comes out. It is about the place you stand, where you have arrived in the month of January, very definitely, but there is also a prophecy taking place, because the message, what I'm getting, it's coming from the passage tombs, and there are cards, 3 of them, in your reading that indicate that. So the information that I was meant to collect as a clairvoyant and come home to radiate out, if you will, continues to flow through my being into the cards as illustration. So I'll do my best, as I always do. Spirit wants me to toggle back and forth. You know what? I should have loaded them up together. It is time for us to understand the cycle of our being and the elemental power and the yin-yang that Spirit chattered about all of 2017. There was a purpose for that. And Spirit says, it is this, the nature of understanding the depth of your truth and what that means for you in this time of stepping into your destiny. And this stone, the coronation stone at Tara, is the Stone of Destiny. And there you are. It's so beautiful. I'm getting all choked up, Sag. It's gorgeous. So with that is the light, if you will, the theme of this message about all the things that I've been chattering about. This is you. The next card out is you. How you are experiencing and how you will experience the movement through the month of January and the purpose that you embody as an elemental spirit entity standing in a human embodied form here on this earth. And for you, Sag, it has all to do with being a warrior of skill, So the Counselor of Truth and the Warrior of Skill, fantastically beautiful, highly evolved, beautiful, sacred male energy. Fire, the sun, the male purpose, always accompanied by the feminine aspect at the deepest wellspring of its existence. And so we see these two beautiful warriors, the Counselor of Truth. And I want to talk a little bit about how these two, because they're standing together, lighting the reading, part of the Counselor of Truth, and the mythology of that card, has to do with what's called the three candles that illuminate truth, nature, and knowledge. And so you go forward with this triad of skills in order to be able to understand, first of all, yourself and to give yourself deep acknowledgement. It has to do with, obviously, being able to bring counsel, to give counsel, but also about the inner guidance that comes from within you. So, pardon me, there has some notion also about the notion of going within, purposeful withdrawal. So, in a way, this card with the Counselor of Truth, it's about the hermit. What it is to be a sacred hermit, standing in the light of the sun, drawing on and tapping into the deepest inner knowing you have. So, again, all the chatter about elemental power, you're going to go within and have a journey intellectually and through your heart chakra and your third eye. And then in this place, under the light of that, you stand as the warrior of skill, whose purpose literally is to respond to sacred impulse. And you stand at the ready, waiting for the sacred impulse to come upon you. With your personal power in your hand, your saddlebags are packed, you have everything you need. You know what? Let me show you the card. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the strength and the clarity and the beauty and being self-assured, Spirit's talking about. Having everything you need. Sustenance and magic, Spirit says. And the intention of purity and the means to go forward. So when the sacred impulse strikes the warrior of skill, he jumps upon his trusty steed and he rides straight into it. And Spirit's saying, that is your skill. And Sag, we were talking about it last year. That impulse that comes from your heart, all of how that fills you and brings the desires. It is time for your energy set point to manifest going forward your true skill set. And I'm really happy for you. So let me show you the card again. And I want to cue up some more notations about how you journey as the warrior of skill. So let's look at the human walk. And of course, no surprise to me, shouldn't be a surprise to you. Look at that, Sag. There's so much acknowledgement of your beautiful fire sign nature that it's just inspiring to me in a way that's deep. And again, if you haven't seen the videos from October, November, December, go and check them out and you'll understand this, because if you're new, I want you to know these videos build upon each other. There's a story that's unfolding and a prophecy that is being met. There has been a very sacred journey and it continues on, having been transformed, now ready to take the next step of your destiny. And if you look at those cards on the bottom line, that's literally the message. So let's go through them one by one. Okay. The first card is the beautiful elopement of skill. And if you think about the purpose of the warrior of skill, that's exactly what it is. Responding and eloping, so to speak. And look, the ring of fire, Spirit's talking about the ring of fire eclipse that started the journey in 2017. If you're new and you haven't seen it, there's videos on my channel about that. So you could go and look at the readings for February. I mean, Spirit keeps telling me, just tell people to binge watch it. I do sometimes in my downtime. I get fixated on something and there's so much energy that I expend. Sometimes I just need to pull it in and just do human activity like binge watch a TV show or some silliness. Spirit's talking about that in relation to the reading. So if you have time and you have the inclination, go for it. There's something that is going to be more deeply revealed to you by so doing, apparently. So, the elopement of skill. There are 2 cards in this reading that talk about journeying in this way. It's really exciting to me. There are actually 3. So, this card is about transformation and what happens when you come into your elemental power. This couple literally ascended through a ring of fire, having come through a sacred transformation. They had to overcome obstacles. Someone was trying to keep them apart. And Spirit's talking about the yin and yang. That's why we were starting out with the stone of destiny and the wellspring. Yin and yang, bonded now. It has happened. Trust it. You're there, Sag. And upon so doing, they were able to arise through a chimney. They were in a banquet hall. Some mystical things took place. They were able to finally reach each other. And when they were able to embrace and join their energy, they literally arose, ascending through the smoke hole, out into the atmosphere. And they turned into swans and they flew away. And they lived in the other world, in the mystical realm, for the rest of eternity. So, some part of the message, in terms of the card, it's about mystical lovers and all that kind of stuff, right? So, in these readings, it's always about you as a person, your set point, and the journey that you're having as a yin-yang. Spirit's talking about the nature of the elements. So, like I said, there's going to be a lot of chatter, I think, in 2018 about that. We're going deep into it now. I'm going to have to learn about chemistry and physics, I can tell. I have about this much knowledge, but probably not enough. So I'm going to be doing a lot of reading. Spirit wants you to do it too. It's time to arise. And the metamorphosis that took place, that allowed them to live in the place that they were destined to be, right? In the spirit world. And so as we walk our human walk, that part of us is coming forward in a way that is going to be very profound. And so the next card, actually, let me toggle back and show you. The very next card has everything to do with an adventure, which is what the warrior of skill does. He goes on these sacred adventures while responding to these beautiful impulses that come to him through his elemental set point. All right? So there we are, going on this artful adventure. Art and skill aligned together on the table, which turns the spiral of destiny. It's so beautiful. I'm having a hard time talking because I'm all choked up at the throat chakra. Whew, Sag, reclaiming yourself. This is a little story about a sacred battle. The wisdom holder, the sacred instrument, was stolen. It was known that it was going to have a negative effect. It was taken. This sacred wisdom holder, the bard, the poet, if you will, had to go and get it back. So he had to cloak himself, go in secret, under cover of night, sit outside the enemy encampment, and chant and meditate and speak out the poems and the wisdom and the songs of the tribe. And the instrument literally rose through the air and returned to him. So, okay, turning destiny forever, right? So look, there, whoops, backwards, sorry. There it is. That's the story, Sag. That's January. And it's a prophecy about what is going to come in 2018, because we're talking about evolutionary destiny and reclaiming of yourself and being able to join your energy together in order to move your soul. That's what the swan's flying away. It's the movement of your soul. It's astounding how this is happening. And the first card out is the warrior of skill. Check it out. And the thing that's lighting the reading is the counselor of truth. And Spirit is basically saying, this is your truth. I'm pointing at you, sorry. I'm just so excited, right? This is your truth. The elemental power of your being. So beautiful. Let's look at what's next. Check it out. That's a major arcana card. And as the columns and the rows of cards evolve through the reading, pay close attention to the story that each column and each row describes, if you will, and also pay close attention to the diagonals, right? So we see on the bottom left the beautiful elopement of skill. Diagonally aligned with the warrior of skill, there's a message there, right? There's a lot of nuance. And so it's time to pay attention now to the nuance because we're going into the power of the elements. It's fascinating to me. So having taken this skillful journey as a sacred warrior, a counselor of truth, you have an elopement and you fly into the spirit realm within your being as a fire sign. There's no doubt in my mind that that's why this card is chosen. Spirit's talking to you about this very loudly, and it turns your destiny, recapturing yourself by so doing. And of course, the very next thing, another major arcana card, so 2 major arcana cards, standing aligned with each other in the reading, in very important placements, at the beginning and at the end of the human walk. So the beginning of the reading, the last card on the human walk, all about destiny, about truth, about spinning forward that which is meant to come as a result of the elopement of skill. So let's talk about the spinner for a minute. Okay, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm going to toggle back and I'll show you the card. And then I will talk a little bit about it. There it is. Look at that. Mystical deep, right? That is really beautiful. And the full name of the card is the Spinner of Growth. So again, returning back to the message that's been coming out. Sending out the seeds that are meant to be sent out from this, okay, Spirit says the wellspring of your entity as a tree sends out seeds in order to stimulate growth, taking in energy from the universe, from the sun. All right, so that's the next homework assignment, I guess. Spirit's talking about, the physiology of a tree and how a tree utilizes the energy from the sun, the firepower that comes to us here on the earth, and what happens, how that is processed, that elemental energy, what it creates. And eventually, the end of that process, in a sense, is the creation of seeds that are blown out on the wind in order to create more of the same, new life. Wow, it's deep, Sag. Check it out, right? All right, so Spirit's talking about photosynthesis. You are going to be able to breathe in. All right, so Spirit's talking about there's a certain type of meditation exercise that has to do with breathing in the sun. Look it up. I don't know anything about it. It's what Spirit is telling me. So check it out for yourself. And if there's some kind of a meditation studio or something like that, Spirit says, just go out into nature. Spirit's saying in your front yard. Well, my front yard is the woods. I don't know about for you, right? So the message is, if you can go to a place where there are trees on a sunny day and stand like a tree and synthesize the elemental power of the sun, it's going to create a lot of growth. It's going to spin the destiny forward that is meant to come from your being as part of the energetic tapestry here. All right? So I'm going to toggle back because I would like you to see it. And, just continue to gaze into this journey that's unfolding while I chatter about it in the background a little bit. So, the Spinner of Growth, obviously, more messaging about destiny, about fate, about cause and effect, and announcing a new cycle. So all of these things, every single card here, Spirit saying the prophecy, the announcement of what is coming forward in 2018. This is about reaping what you have sown. It's about the auspicious circumstances in which you stand, and there are unexpected changes for the better coming. Seize the opportunity. You have respect for the larger picture because you're a Sagittarius, because you're a fire sign, because of what comes through your heart chakra. And take and stand in this way and move forward away from that which was in your mind blocking you in the past. It is time to let that blow away on the wind while the new seeds are going out. So when you stand in your place and you have a difficult day or a difficult moment, remember, you literally stand in the energetic river of your abundance. Don't ever doubt that. And start practicing the art of manifesting. And I've been saying it for a while. All right, Spirit wants me to tell a little story. Okay. So, it's been frigidly cold here, below zero for over a week. It's nuts. I couldn't get home for a couple days because of the ice storm. I finally got in, and then, no electricity. And it just, right? And I'm stressing out because I'm a fussy Virgo. Oh my God, the readings, and I really had the intention that they were going to be done by the new year. And that's what was spinning me out, right? Into mental oblivion of stress, right? So there came a day and the sun came out, and it went out on my little side deck, and I thought, all right, breathe it in. It's going to be fine. And things happen for a reason. Don't worry. Stop being a fussy Virgo. Calm down. Right? Acting like this in my own life, right? Just saying, all right, just chill. So I just stood there, and I did. I was able to gather myself. I was standing in the sun. It was below zero, but the sun was brilliant in the sky. When it's this cold, the sun comes out and the sky is clear and it's really brilliant, at least here where I live, right? So I stood there and I thought, I'm always telling everybody, trust it, it's okay. So I let all my worry drop away, and I stood there, and I have a little chant that I do. And it has to do with standing, believing, knowing, and willing myself to stand in the river of my abundance. And so I just stood there. My car was frozen. I was meant to go to an appointment, and the car was the poor little thing, 15 below zero. It wasn't going anywhere. So I thought, all right, I meant to just calm down. Maybe I'm meant to stay home today. Maybe I'm meant to let the sun shine on me. And I just was releasing all the stress. And I just started doing my little chant, about I literally do stand in the river of my abundance. I've been given this gorgeous little sacred little place to live, and it's where I would want to live, all of that. So I just started thinking about all the good stuff, right? And I'm just standing there, freezing, letting the sun shine on me. And the next thing I know, the beautiful man who plows my driveway came driving up the driveway in his truck with a load of sand. He's the most lovely individual. He said, it's really slippery, and I drive a Prius. How nuts is that, given where I live, okay? So, anyways, he came up to dump some sand in my driveway because he didn't think I was going to get up the hill. And he took his jumper cables out. We jumped the car, and away I went. So Spirit's talking about that kind of moment. Use your energy this year, Sag. Create what you need. Trust it. You have the ability to manifest. That's the other piece of this. It's about manifesting in a forward motion kind of way with the energy of photosynthesis. That's what Spirit's talking about. And something about that's what I was doing in that moment, okay? So I call it manifesting. And the first step is, all right, remember, you're standing in the river of your abundance. Just remember that you're standing there. Let everything else fall away. And then things unfold. So, sorry about that long chatter. Spirit wanted me to tell that story. I think because if we look back at 2017, some of the cards that came out were just so filled with tragedy and difficulty and obstacle. It's time to let it go and to move beyond. All right, so I'm going to toggle back So you can check that out while I load up the pictures um, for the bridge card that takes the reflection of this human walk and moves it forward, shows us the bridge. When you come into this energy set point and you become the counselor of truth in your own life, okay, that's the other piece of that. That's why the spinner of growth stands with the counselor of truth. In those moments, that's what that silly story was all about. I know we're human. We're not always able to do it, but develop a new habit of reminding yourself when you're just in a pickle or something is happening. Stand in the river of your abundance, be the counselor of your own truth, and understand that you have now the ability to, Spirit's talking about paying homage to your own self. So understand that you have this capacity. Lift your hands up. Spirit's talking about the way he stands there, right? So in the light of the sun, it's not always going to be a sunny day, but euphemistically, right? Just let go and receive what comes shining through to you, and remind yourself that you stand in the river of your abundance and that you're spinning out your own growth because you've evolved into that ability. And having evolved into that ability, you now begin a new courtship, standing above the elopement of skill that is about the courtship of the sacred energies being bonded together. Look, Sag, look at that. Holy Moses. Woo! It really almost leaves me speechless, which is a lot because I'm a chatty Cathy, as you know. Look at that. Look at that center line. Look at the reflection of the columns against each other. Astounding, isn't it? And you see how the elopement of skill on the bottom left is aligned with the warrior of skill. And the spinner of growth also aligned with the warrior of skill. And we've been talking about your warriorship all along, and you've evolved into that moment. Astounding to me. And there you stand in the center of this beautiful courtship of knowledge, being accompanied by the counselor of truth. Wow, look at that. Beautiful Sag. I think this card has come out in your readings before. The courtship of knowledge. A number 3 card. There's a youthful aspect to this, a new journey into the sacred knowledge that exists, having to do with the element of the sun. And you folks always teach me a lot. I know that there are things that you know that I don't know. So I really encourage everyone to, whatever comes to you, you're going to have some sacred inspiration because the warrior of skill is there. There's an impulse. These things are going to come into you. Don't doubt it. And it's going to have everything to do with the courtship of this new knowledge, because we see these sacred lovers underneath that, and they bonded together their energies and arose into this new place. They transformed literally their form and their energy, and they flew away into this new spot. And that's literally what's happening in this reading. The messaging is really profound and extremely on point, right? So, a supplicant, right? You fall to your knees and you become a student in a way. You are activated, Sag, in the same way that the beings of light are activated. You are coming into your destiny as a being of light, a bringer of light, a transmitter of messages, because this is here. And this is the very next card. The tears are kind of flowing for me. So let me toggle back because I want you to see it in relationship to the spread. What is being spun by the wisdom holder who had to recapture his vibrational essence in order to turn his destiny? And upon so doing, the growth began to spin, and your ability to use the energy of the sun in a photosynthetic type of experience and ability brings you into a courtship with the knowledge of those things. That's why Spirit is chattering endlessly, filling up my head, chattering about, physics and chemistry and the table of elements. There's information buried in there. I know that some of you out there are smart scientists and etc. Teach me, because I want to know, okay? Teach all of us. I'm eager to hear. There was somebody, one of my viewers who was a Cancer, who had a certain type of discovery, because Cancer and water signs are going through their own transition in a very elemental, similar kind of way. And something came to him in a moment of inspiration that was really profound about the element and how the element of water is related to the sun and hydrogen and things like that, right? So that's what we're talking about. So let's check out the spirit line and look at the reflection of what's happening on the soul level, in a sense. And you're not going to be surprised at all. It's beautiful. Look at that. So, standing above the beautiful, sacred moment of courtship with this new courtship with knowledge about the element of your being, the very first thing that happens is the imagination. On a soul level, you begin to be able to remember and imagine what it is to be in harmony with yourself and your being and your destiny. That is the beautiful imaginer of harmony. Is a major arcana card. And today is the 1st of January. Happy New Year, I forgot to say it. And it is a full moon, and not just a full moon, it is a super moon. There are going to be 2 moons this month, one on the first day, 2 super moons, one on the first day of the year today. I'm literally doing these last 3 readings today, and I'm going to get them out, and then I have to zoom off in my car, which hopefully won't be frozen. So there you are. Intuition, the ability to become clairvoyant, to have sacred dreams that carry you to the destination you seek. You can't tell in the picture, this sacred vessel has golden oars. It's a magical thing. In order to help you transition and reach any destination you'd like to go. And there you are. Spirit's talking now again about the wellspring. So there you are. It's a Pisces-like moment. How the the fire element is related to water. I think we're going to have more discussion about that. This is the moon card. It's the imaginer of harmony. How you come into harmony with yourself, and by so doing with the world around you. So there's a full moon today, super moon. There is a full moon on the 31st of January, and I believe, I haven't had time to look, I'm pretty sure there's a lunar eclipse this month. You're going deep into your own nature. All right, Spirit's asking me to load up another picture, all right? So I'm going to toggle over so you can see that in relationship. And Spirit wants me just to show you this in light of the moon card. The wellspring, the depth, and what happens in the deep places while you transition into the place of kings. Spirit's talking about harnessing energy and being in your place of destiny. Isn't that beautiful? My goodness. All right, so let's go back. Diving deep into the nature of your element, into what you can imagine, into the place you'd like to be. Beautiful, mystical, journeying, and safe passage. It's beautiful, really beautiful. So, oops, wrong picture. Well, there you go. Hang on a second. I'm going to toggle back to the Spirit Walk cards. As you journey, and you've seen this card before, Sag, you come to this new foundation. The foundation of battle that sits above the warrior of skill, who stands on the table above the adventure of art. So again, ponder the transition in that center column of cards. And look at that beautiful fire warrior, another indication of sacred male energy. And what I love about this reading is it is so focused on yourself as a fire sign. And in each place accompanied in all the ways that need to be accompanied by sacred feminine energy to bring the yin-yang essence of your destiny forward. That card is the foundation of battle. That has everything to do with the journey that you're on. Okay, so the foundation of battle. Clearly sacred warrior making a journey. Look again, standing above the warrior of skill. 2 notifications of really beautiful, really clear, highly balanced, very solid, sacred, male energetic set point, the place in which you are meant to be. And there's the spirit realm, standing in the background, watching your journey, accompanying you as you send your energy out. And you come to this place of firm foundation within yourself and as an actor, as a sacred warrior. This foundation of battle is about coming through a rite of passage journey. Right? So I'm going to toggle back. Look at the rite of passage journey that you've been on. It's about turning your destiny in a way that comes from the sacred inspiration that you respond to in the light of the counselor of truth. It is about coming home. And the very next card is about your emergence into this foundation and where you stand, having made that transition. The warrior of battle, who turns the spiral at the tip of the sword, having been fully transformed, completely open at the will center, the heart center, the throat chakra. And do you see the activation? You see the energy coming off that person? A youthful place, a young man, starting out in a new place, okay? And that behind there, I think, because Spirit's chattering to me about Tara and the solstice and the passage tombs and all of that, right? Look, okay? Knowledge that brings new information and new ability to your warrior stance as a male entity, as a son, right? So that looks like the passage tomb at null. And there's the sun arising. And Spirit's talking again about having evolved, having emerged from the solstice, prepared for 2018. This young warrior has the ability and he has made the commitment to provide that which is needed. Bounty. And Spirit's talking again about your energy. I mean, it's fantastic to me. So, the energy of the Sag going forward in this way, there is an enormous amount of sending energy out, impetus, messages. It's very male informed. In human form, all right, we use these gender identifiers. And isn't it interesting that it's beginning to be in flux here? I'm so curious about that in light of everything that comes through to me. Clearly, a shift is happening, right? Isn't it interesting that people who are gender fluid have this experience that they have? I don't understand it. I'm not going through it, so I can't really truly understand it. But as an observer, I find it intensely fascinating, given everything that's channeling through me, right? So I know we're going to learn more about that. But under the light of all the things that are happening and the evolution that's coming to us as we progress in these days, it's very fascinating to me that those events are taking place. There's something going on deep, right? People are transitioning in ways that are physical because of what they feel inside of them. It's fascinating to me, right? So here's the outcome card, right? Let me cue that up while you look at this journey. Look at the center line of these cards, Sag. It's phenomenal. Look at that. Okay? So, we've been talking about the element of the sun coming through the passage tomb. And there you stand at the sacred passage tomb at Newgrange, having emerged from this journey. And there it is. And the other thing that I think is going to start evolving through the chatter that I do, Spirit's talking a lot about the tapestry, the energy set points, the elements, and the universe, and all of that. The other thing that's coming forward is about the alignment of the sacred places all across the globe. And if you want to spend some time and have some fun, go look on the internet about how these places are aligned with each other and where the ley lines are and how they are mathematically aligned. So the passage tomb at Newgrange is directly aligned with the passage tomb at Null. And they are directly aligned with the Great Pyramids and probably many other places. And I know you could spend many hours of your life playing with that information on the internet. I've done some of it. There's information that's beginning to flow into me about that. So I'm not sure if that's just a moment of my own training to prepare me for some other messages that are going to come. There is information, I believe, it has to do with the vibrational highway, is what Spirit calls it, of these places are all together. And now we have the internet, interestingly enough. So I'm not going to allow myself to go down that rabbit hole, but Spirit wants me to just that's like a little bit of a preview or something. So pondering, while you're pondering, add that to the list of fun things to think about. All right. So there's the outcome card. The full transformation into the warrior of art. Sag. This card has everything to do with emerging from the journey of the solstice. Okay? There you are. No doubt in my mind, and hopefully no doubt in your mind. So the beautiful warrior of art has re-emerged, completely transformed because of the journey that has happened and that he is willingly engaged in, having become an initiate. That's what that initiation was all about. This is the place that you were meant to pass through and emerge from in this way. It's about a place of sanctuary and a period of restfulness. And he's standing next to the counselor of truth, the hermit. It's fascinating to me. This is a moment in which dreams can be clarified. And you are being asked, what are the dreams that you have in your heart and soul about love? About utilizing love in an artistic way to engage, if you will, in these dreams that you have in your heart chakra about what is possible here on this planet. And given the fact, the types of cards that came out in 2017 with the types of battle, wrong picture, the types of battle that you were engaged in, okay, and again, if you're new and you haven't seen it, go check out some of those readings and you'll see what I'm talking about. We saw pictures of warriors that were fighting to the death and the lifeblood of their spirit trickling into the stream of humanity. It's been an intense journey. Informed by your heart, Spirit says. So there are a lot of aspects about this card that I think we're going to talk about going forward because this is the outcome, right? But there you are. See that guy? What he's got in his hand? Look. Look at that. Transformed. You have completed your journey, Sag. And you're ready for the next step, the prophecy for 2018. Congratulations. And thank you, by the way. Very profound, right? So it's interesting because this Spirit says, going forward into 2018, we're going to talk more about this gentleman. It's about love energy. Literally, I haven't spoken about it. It hasn't been time, but this is about employing love energy through your elemental power that comes to you in a radiant way because you are a fire sign. So, Sag, on that note, I'm going to leave you with that notion. And thank you for accompanying me with so much love and compassion and patience as I've been on my own journey of unfolding. Thank you. I'm going to leave you with the image of the cards, and I'll look forward to seeing you in February. Have a wonderful New Year's Day celebration and a wonderful New Year and holiday season wherever you are. Thank you so much for everything.